Today we're here to see what's got to be one of the most awesome custom car shows ever. 4 quads on this engine. Welcome to the National Corvette Museum in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Yes, where they had the big sinkhole incident that ate several one-of-a-kind Corvettes. More about that later. We're checking out custom CAR-isma, the legendary creations of Carl Casper. The tour starts right now. Welcome to the Cosmic Invader, developed in the 1970s as an experimental concept electric car. Look at the Batman style steering wheel. This is awesome. Not exactly stylish for this day and time. Kind of looks like a caddy in the back. But definitely would turn heads going down the road. Like a rocket ship. Carl Casper was a racer, movie car builder, and amazing showman. From 1963 to 2017, Carl Casper put on over 1,000 custom car shows. He designed his own builds, including bodywork, engine builds, upholstery, and paint, and a lot of his creations became popular model car kits. Just found out the DC Comics is part of it too. Here's your grocery getter. Look at this. Oh man, I'm sure this is something for the driver. Just kidding, I know it's not. That is pretty. Look at those side pipes. Anyone feeling the 50s right now? Look at those booms. White the wall of tires. Look at the interior, how huge this thing is inside. With 3 on the tree. 1951 Mercury 283. Not a whole lot of horsepower, but it'll get you down the road. And in this one, you look cool. This is the young American from 1971. Took on Don Garlett's rear engine. You notice this is mid-engine. Set a new track record of 6.53 ET, I think. Then you pop the chute. Work is done. The Bad Boy 2 is considered one of Carl Casper's most epic builds of all time. Definitely one of the most popular. It's classic green. It looks Green Lantern-ish, doesn't it? No one get offended by that. I know Green Lantern wasn't that great a movie. But this is that great a car. Carl Casper actually sewed the interior, the pleats and everything, all by himself. Old school. By hand, yes. That makes it even more awesome. You were watching a guy living out his model car dream. Built this when I was a kid. 1910. That's the Paddy Wagon. 4 quads on this engine. 4! I don't think you're talking horsepower when you're talking this car. And look at that. That crushed velvet interior. This, I spent, I think, 2 weeks allowance to get this model. Put it together and loved every minute of it. To see it up close and personal like this is awesome. This has got to be a joke. The hand crank? Really? 4 quads. How hard would you have to crank this thing? If you got to go to jail, this would be the way to do it, right? Yes, on the way to the Batmobile, but got a super cool car in the meantime. Hang on. Say hello to the Turbo Shark. It's a 1964 Corvette with a 327 cubic inch engine, 300 horsepower, with an experimental turbo put out 700 horsepower. See this red top, this glass? Hand blown. Talking about your sunroof. Okay guys, be honest, how much would you give for this to drive it? This is one sexy beast, isn't it? He's Batman. Or is he Batman? Doesn't matter. This is his ride. One of these guys cruises in this, the Batmobile from Batman Returns, the very first Batmobile on Batman Returns. I wish it wasn't so dark in here. That just looks like power, doesn't it? It has hundreds of crime-fighting gadgets, but its gas tank is kind of exposed so people could siphon the gas out and make it totally useless, but it's still the Batmobile. If you listen to it, they have the sound of popcorn popping above us, or did. It stopped. I don't know. The reason being is because of this, the popcorn wagon. One of the most popular models back in the 60s. Yes, I wanted to put it together, but I never got enough allowance to do it. And get this, Carl Casper made sure it actually made popcorn. He would actually give out free samples. Look at this engine display. It's a 427 with lots of little extras, I'm sure. It's just so awesome. See these things you put together as a model in real life is just beyond words. It truly is amazing. Love those deep dish mags. Anyone thinking Herman Munster here with this light? Dig that crazy seat, man. I know you're not much on car shows, but you got to admit, this is a cool show.
It really is.
I want to own one of these cars so bad.
And you know what's really interesting to me, you know, there's maybe 7 or 10 here. When he came to town, out in Louisville, I don't know about any place else, but when he came to town, the convention center was packed.
Yeah.
Jam-packed with these exact type of cars.
Carl Casper shows, you had to pay to get into them, and when you did, you were jammed up. Okay, wait a minute. This is a model, but it is awesome. Carl Casper's The Phone Booth. Can you see the little stool? Can you see Superman changing in this thing and then getting to the scene of the crime really quickly? Here's the box it came in. Would love to have had that as a model. These are the kind of cars you just can't buy or see anywhere else. Okay, now we know what they mean by CAR-isma. It's the product of great-looking custom creations by a genius builder. There's no way we could be in the National Corvette Museum and not see the ultimate when it came to American sports cars. For us, it started with this amazing mural made from pictures of Corvettes. It's interesting right as you come into it. Old General Motors ad. I like this. You stand in the center of this disc. This Corvette emblem. It resonates. That sounds so cool, don't I? She just looks at me. Besides the CAR-isma exhibit, we wanted to see the repairs that have been made since a huge sinkhole swallowed 7 one-of-a-kind Corvettes in 2014. There was a lot to see on the way. Oh, look at this. It's just like you walk into small-town America back in the 50s. Even the old bicycles. That adds a nice ambiance. These people are looking at something. What's she looking at? Can't be the cars because they're down here. We are looking at the cars. That's where you get the models to build it. In 1954, Richard Sampson of Brunswick, Maine bought a brand new 54 Corvette. Drove it for almost 5 years. However, in 1959, his wife didn't like it, so he decided he was going to entomb it in his store. He owned a chain of stores, entombed it, not to be unentombed, is that the right word? Until 2000. He died in 1997. He had taken his provision off before he died. And yet, it sat in the store. Crazy thing is, someone bought the store and decided they didn't want the car, so his daughter took the car, put it in her living room for another 10 years. How you see it is exactly how it was unearthed, unentombed, shown back to the world again. You know, this is something I never thought of. Corvette is, as far as I know, America's only sports car. And this is how they put them together on the assembly line, for those of you who might have been curious. These statues, mannequins, look so real. Now look in here, this just sits right down on this. Stingray. It's not break time yet, right? Got a question. Why do you put a door lock on a convertible? Just asking. You're going to love this Corvette. 1967. It's Roy Orbison's Stingray. Look at this. Yes, Roy Orbison actually owned it and drove it. And it sits inside this yellow beauty. Love the snack machine. Everything in here is so authentic from the 50s and 60s. Pull tab, snacks. Looks just like a showroom. Then of course you got the gallery you can walk through and check out the experimental models and the ones that actually might have had a chance. Here's something kind of interesting. They broke the 24-hour world speed endurance record. They've been held for 50 years. Average of 175 miles an hour for 24 hours straight. Stock Corvette. And this is the car they did it in. The old split window. Can't get these anymore. Turned out to be an insurance liability, evidently, from what I heard. But it looks good, doesn't it? Wow. And this is absolutely mint. 63 Corvette. This is a 2002 Corvette C5R GTI. The R stands for racing. The 5 for a fifth generation. They took this out to Le Mans and it actually won 8 times. Doesn't it look a little like a Lotus? This is the beast that powered it. Look at this. Okay, this vet has the most interesting story. It's a 1961 Mako Shark. This guy, Bill Mitchell, is out fishing in Bimini. He captures, or he sees the underbelly of a shark. And he sees how it fades to deep blue on the top where the dorsal fin lays. He had the first 4 feet of the Mako Shark sent for taxidermy. Then he put it on display in his office at the GM Technical Center. The shark was his muse for the 1961 Mako Shark concept car. How beautiful is this thing? And this is a model for one of the consoles. Notice anything missing? Like, I don't know, cup holder? Oh, wow. This one's got a lot of duct tape on it. I didn't break it. I wasn't anywhere near it. You can't prove it.
Thank goodness it's got glass all the way around it.
Oh wait, it's not broken, is it? Okay. I feel a lot better. Well, I was gonna have to go to the Corvette Museum jail. I like how they show you how they make them. This, not this one in particular, but we found one model that was absolutely styrofoam and they were putting clay over it, and it made so much sense to me. Like, yeah, sculpted out of styrofoam, then covering clay and do the finishing touches. There you go. Simple process when you think about it, but ingenious at the same time. Of course, we have to show you this, where the Corvettes met their doom. All those classic cars, millions of dollars worth of Corvettes into this hole. It was horrible. We're gonna go check it out. This had to have been painful for someone to have to dig these cars out like this. Oh man, now look at this one. Wow. Talk about a hole. Just swallowed them right up. There it is, the tape on the floor that tells you where the cracks happen. But it's back to its glory again. And the Corvettes, or here at least replacements, the others were one of a kind. They couldn't be replaced. just nice to see it's back to normal, as it can be. Again, look at the tape on the floor. This just tells you how intense the destruction was. Amazing. Amazing. And this is the red spire you see outside. There is so much to see here, it's amazing. The only way you can really get a full scale of it is if you come see it yourself. Here's something kind of interesting. You can look down 30 feet into what's left of the sinkhole that rocked the Corvette world. It is way down there. Imagine classic cars falling that far. It's kind of scary. It looks like this would open up and you could fall through, so I'm not going to get too close. Did you know they had a rear engine Corvette? This is it. Rear engine Corvette. Looks like it's a little heavier in the backside. Kind of cool. That is pretty. This looks weird to have that heavy back end on a Corvette. I thought that thing right there was a tack, but it's actually the rear view mirror. And ooh, a gift shop. Wonder if we can find something Corvette here. Huh. Wonder. This is cool. It's gotta come home with me. Looks like a Funko, doesn't it? Maybe get a magnet? Like this one. Sure. Okay, I am curious. It's a box. Turns into a Corvette. What do you put in the box? Ah, here's one put together. It's just a cute Corvette.
You put your gifts in there.
Put your gifts in there.
Like if you want to use it.
But how do you keep from crushing it though? That's the thing.
No.
Oh no.
You put the box in a box.
It's cute. Or just put it on your desk and stick your stuff in the office in there. Gotta admit, they got some cool clothing in here. Could handle a jacket like that. It's nice. And of course, the ladies can look Corvette cool too. And sparkly. It's kind of ironic we'd be at the Corvette Museum today because it's thunder over Louisville. We would have gone to that, but that is like a major thing to go to, and you get stuck in traffic for like 5-6 hours. So.
Yeah, so we headed south instead.
And you gotta admit, it's a great show. CAR-isma, come on. If you like this episode, give us a big thumbs up, would you? Consider subscribing to the channel. We really appreciate it. It'll help us grow, and it's totally free. And remember, adventure is as close as the next offering.
We'll see you on the next video.
Don't know if we can do this, but I'm going to. This is kind of out on the grass as you come into the Corvette Museum. It's like a silver-plated, filled-in Corvette, maybe 55, 56. That can't be real. Surely they didn't do that to a real Corvette. As my wife Vanessa would say, yowza. Good news. It's not a real Corvette. It's a 1953 Corvette sculpture, specially designed for the 1996 Olympics. Okay. I feel better now. It's Batman.